That's probably a bit easier now that I'm going to be flying the F-14 because it's a giant flying Dorito in the sky, right? So you're gonna have a very big target to look at, and because it's such a unique shape, it's very easy to figure out at what direction or at what incidence the F-14 is pointed at. So keep that in mind. And also one thing to look at when someone's flying against you in the F-14, say it's an Iranian F-14 and you're flying a strike into Iran, is look at the wing sweep of the F-14. If the wings are swept forward, you know he's slow, probably about 350 knots and below. If the wings are swept back and he's looking like a flying triangle, a flying Dorito, then you know he's going really fast and probably has you beat in the energy game. So keep that in mind as well. Also, but one thing to keep in mind that's kind of a foil to that is a good F-14 pilot can fool you with the wings. He can be super fast and sweep the wings out to make you think he's super slow, and vice versa. But most DCS F-14 pilots are not going to think that way and not going to try to fool you by sweeping the wings because they're so concentrated on not ripping the wings off that you can really pretty much use the incidence of the wing sweep to your advantage to get an indication as to how fast the F-14 is going. That's also you can also use that against any other swing wing aircraft. So say you're chasing a Su-24 or a MiG-23. You can also use that to your advantage as well, as to knowing that when they're swept back, they're going fast. When they're swept forward, they're going slow.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep. And when my wings come forward, you should know, your fangs should come out and say, hey, now he's where I live now. So now I can go reach out and get him. But when my wings are swept back, you can probably pretty much think to yourself, uh-oh, he's going pretty fast. He's kind of where he lives. So I better make sure I'm staying nice and defensive and making sure I'm not letting him take advantage of his strengths. So let's go ahead and start it off. You ready?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right. In 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Heads up, nails, 12 o'clock. Wilco. Okay, got him locked. Target, 27 miles.
So are Tomcats going to go into the vertical at the start?
For the most part, yeah. If it's a good Tomcat pilot who knows what he's doing. If a Tomcat starts in the horizontal with you, you should jump on that. Say, holy crap, he's making a mistake. I need to jump on that and capitalize on it right away. And really pull hard and use your slow speed, high alpha maneuverability to bring your nose around on him and shoot him as quickly as you possibly can before he realizes his mistake, plugs the burners, extends, and pulls up into the vertical. So,
all right,
let's go ahead and continue.
Spike, right on her nose.
Just so Californian, just taking a casual drink of Starbucks before a dogfight.
It's kind of funny. I got a glass of water here, just so I don't get thirsty when I'm about to kill you.
Yep. All right.
Target, 17 miles. Roger that. That's a Hornet.
All right, we got a Hornet out there.
Wilco. Target, 8 miles.
All right, coming through 5 miles here.
Here we go again. $12 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 6 o'clock low.
All right, so the key here is not to lose altitude in your turn, because you're just giving me more of an advantage the more altitude you lose.
O'clock low.
Come on, you big heavy fighter.
12 o'clock low. Low.
All right, good job, good job, good job.
6 o'clock high.
Good defensive maneuver there. Keep your eyes on me as I go high here.
Low. 12 o'clock low. 12 o'clock low. 12 o'clock low. 12 o'clock.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, did you lose me?
Spike, 6 o'clock. Get him off our back. He's getting in shooting position. Nine o'clock low. 12 o'clock low. 9 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 12 o'clock low. 'He's right in front of us.
All right, stay defensive here. I'm where you live. And that's it.
5 o'clock low.
So pretty good job there. You with me?
Yep.
All right, yeah, so definitely a pretty good job there. One critique that I think could make the fight go better in your favor here is when you started that initial horizontal turn, you lost a lot of altitude. You kind of let your nose slide down and you lost a lot of altitude, and you came, instead of being, perfectly level, you were almost at a 45-degree bank coming down. So I would say when I pop up into that vertical there, instead of trying to lose altitude, stay in that same horizontal plane, plug the burners, try and keep as much airspeed as you can in that tight turn while keeping as much altitude as you can, because the closer you stay to me, even if you're in that horizontal, the less potential, you're negating my potential energy advantage of my going up high. Because you lost altitude, you really, really let me dictate the fight, because you gave me much, much more time to be able to swoop down on you and get you. Now, I will admit I am pretty darn good at muscling the big Tomcat around the sky, especially down low like that, and that's just come through a lot of practice. So definitely keep an eye on the fact that if a really good Tomcat pilot can whip it around down low like that. But if you had kind of been able to keep me keep flying defensively and drag me down further and further and further, my performance in the Tomcat's going to degrade further and further and further. I was really, really debating there whether I should stay in that fight or disengage and keep going over the top. Now, at one point there, you did get on my 6, and you saw the firsthand the perfectly fantastic advantage the Tomcat has in that I simply dumped all of the angle of attack, let all the AOA out, plugged the burners, and went over the top again, and just accelerated out away from you. So that's when that starts to happen. That's when you need to kind of reset, keep going back into the horizontal, and not letting me get the advantage by going up over the top again. Make any sense?
Yeah, in that case, do I need to also unload and increase speed or stay slow?
Well, it kind of depends. All of this stuff is all so situational. It's not always cut and dry. Even when you're in the horizontal and you're trying to play to your strengths of slow speed maneuverability, it's always a good idea to make sure you keep up that speed. The Hornet can fight really well under 200 knots, but I would say in order to keep the fight going and extend the fight and be able to have enough energy to fly defensively, I would make sure that you probably dump some of that AOA and build up some speed and make sure you're above 200 knots as I go up over that vertical. So that way you have enough energy to just keep the fight going and not get dragged down in the ground. Because when I finished debating with myself whether or not to continue with that fight and just keep on going, I thought to myself, well, I'm either going to shoot him or he's going to hit the ground here. And so that's when I knew. I was like, okay, I can keep this fight going, because I saw you just losing altitude. I saw your nose coming up higher and higher and higher, and I thought you were either going to crash or I was going to get you, which I ended up getting you, which actually kind of surprised me. So, like I said, stay in that horizontal plane as much as you can, even though I'm going vertical, and then that way you can keep continuing the fight from there. And you really want to fly against the Tomcat, trying to get him to overshoot you. That'd probably be your best bet there.
How much more time do you have?
Let's see here. I've got about an hour. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, cool. You want to keep going to the dogfighting?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. Why don't we do one more dogfight with the F-14, and then we should be good to go. Let's go ahead.
All right.
And I'm going to select another roll here and get into another F-14. I know I'm beating you here, but I hope I'm not, making you feel bad or anything like that. I'm trying to teach you as well as I possibly can here.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to learn as much as I can.
Fantastic. So for this one, like I said, when I go up over that vertical, like I will, I'm not trying to hide that or anything like that. I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did before. And when you start into that turn, don't overbank the aircraft and start losing altitude. At most, put in 90 degrees of bank and try and stay out that altitude you're at, because like I said, the more altitude you lose in that initial turn, the bigger advantage you're giving me in the Tomcat, because you're giving me more and more and more potential energy to swoop down and get you. So
makes sense.
Yep, exactly. So you ready?
Say again?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I got nails on our nose, 12 o'clock. We've got a Bandit, Bra, 095, 26 miles. Started. I got the lock. Target, 25 miles.
Did he use the vertical scan?
What was that?
The F4, F-18?
Um,
when you're in a dogfight?
Yeah, you can definitely use that, and that works too. What I would recommend is if you have your helmet mounted display turned on, is throw her into bore sight mode, and that way all you need to do to lock me up is just look at me. When you throw her into bore sight mode, you'll see a dash circle on the HUD, and then when you look away from the HUD, that dash circle will follow you within the gimbal limits of your radar. And so all you got to do to lock me up is just simply look at me, which is really, really nice. Whereas in the Tomcat here, I've got to use vertical scan mode and get you, try and lock you up way off the field of view of my HUD here.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
In 3, 2, 1.
Target 15 miles. That's a F-18.
All right, within 10 nautical miles here.
It's game time. That's a Hornet. Target 5 miles.
And coming up on the merge.
12 o'clock.
All right.
6 o'clock.
Yep. Try not to lose any altitude.
Low.
All right, pull hard, pull hard, pull hard. Don't let me get on your tail. Pull hard.
12 o'clock low.
All right, good job, good job, good job. Now I'm coming down really, really fast, and I'm probably going to overshoot you here.
Go get him. Closing.
Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. There you go. See, just overshot you. Now reverse the turn quick. See if you can get me as I'm extending. Now it's a good time to unload and reset yourself. Get as much speed as you can. As I go up over the top again.
Low.
All right, keep pulling hard.
Low.
There you go. Good job. I just overshot. There you go. Pull hard and see if you get onto my tail.
6 o'clock.
And see how high you are now? It's really, really going to extend the fight and allow you more opportunities to get me.
9 o'clock.
And so now you've kind of dragged me down into where you live. Oh, nice shot. Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh, I'm bleeding.
Awesome.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Let's see if I can. That reminds me of Top Gun.
Yeah, the F-14 going into a flat spin like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good job. So you see how that simple thing right at the beginning of the fight where you kept your altitude in that horizontal turn really, really changed how the fight went?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that definitely changes things. And so those little things, those little tiny things that you can do better, even if it is, saving a few hundred feet on that horizontal turn, can really, really, really change how a dogfight goes, because it's all about the little things. And that's true whether you're landing on the carrier, trying to put an F-16 on the runway at Nellis, you're getting launched off a carrier. Doing all the little things right makes things go better down the road. And so it's all about thinking about what you're going to do for your next steps. And so you really, really did a good job negating my advantages in the F-14 by making those really hard last-minute turns and reversing your Hornet around as I'm trying to swoop down on you and get my guns on you. So super good job there. Do you want to? Yeah.
What were you about to say?
Yeah. So I was going to say, do you want to do that again, or did you want to work on something else?
We can do it one more time.
Okay.
And you think we can do attack view?
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely. I've got all the tack views here, so we can definitely look at some tack views. Let's see here. What do you want me to fly? Do you want me to fly a Tomcat or an F-16, or what do you want me to fly?
Let's do the Tomcat again.
Okay, cool. I would say it's definitely a bit of an easier opponent for the F-18 than the F-16 is, because the F-16 can do what the F-18 does, but better. So the F-18 is kind of, I think, at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to fighting the F-16. Whereas the F-18 and the F-14 do two very different things well and are not so good at the exact opposite thing. So that works a little bit better in terms of trying to figure out tactics and things.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Fantastic.
Heads up, Nails. 12 o'clock.
And I think I've gotten a little better at keeping a visual.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about making sure you keep an eye on me. And it's also a lot easier when you're flying against a Tomcat because it's such a huge jet, you know?
There you go.
Spike, right on her nose. You bet. Fight's coming our way. Okay, he's locked. Target, 9 miles.
All right, coming through 5 miles.
That's a Hornet. O'clock.
All right, and into the merge.
Spike, 12 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Eight o'clock. $11. Right wing is damaged.
All right, I'm dead.
All right.
6 o'clock high.
Yeah, that went pretty fast since you
Yep.
stayed in the horizontal.
Yep, definitely. Now, I mean, head-on in real training, head-on gunshots don't count, and so the reason for that is they're very dangerous in real life and in DCS. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to shoot someone in the head-on and ran into them. That happens a lot. So keep that in mind. But good job. So let's do it one more time, but this time let's try and not do any head-on shots and keep actually doing the maneuvering until someone gets, on someone's tail and then they get them. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. I mean, good job. I'm not trying to negate the fact that you shot me down, so good job there. It's just not always what they're looking for when it comes to real training for real dogfighting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As well as, if you're trying to do a simulated head-on gun skill in a training environment, it's incredibly dangerous beyond the fact that you could always run into your opponent instead of even though it's all simulated. So in 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Heads up, nails. 12 o'clock. Spike, right on her nose. There is a Bandit 095, 26 miles. Yep. Okay. He's locked. Target 16 miles.
All right, coming through 18 miles.
All right.
That's a Hornet. Target 7 miles.
All right, coming up to the merge.
O'clock. $6 8 He's coming right, man.
I'm just doing this to give you a different look, because not everyone's going to fly exactly the way they probably should in the Tomcat.
5 low. $7 low. $12 high.
And there goes that Hornet. I'm going to do exactly what it doesn't want me to do. Alright, so pull hard. Pull hard to your right. Right, come right, hard. There you go. Don't let me get on your tail. I'm coming down from high. There you go. There you go. Good job. Oh, I got you, but good job. Good job.
5
Yeah, I lost visual.
Yep. So it's definitely when you go up over, when someone goes up over the top like that, it can definitely be hard to keep eyes on them. But when you have someone go up over the top like that, you want to make sure, and you can't see them, the best thing you could probably do is just keep that turn coming, because you know that they're probably going to be coming up over the top, reversing their heading, coming back through their reciprocal heading. So you know that if they're going up over the top and going to be going at 180 degrees the opposite direction, if you just keep that turn coming, keep it coming, maybe you'll get a sight of them as they come back down through your altitude again, or hopefully before that. But you want to make sure that you just keep that turn coming so that you just don't allow them to get a gun solution on you as they're coming down. And that's the gun in the Tomcat, the way it's modeled, the way the radar system's modeled. The gun in the F-14 is an absolute sniper rifle, and so you can really, really get a good shot off on someone that's down below you like that. But like I said, super good job trying to negate my strengths there.